And Kyler Murray for $1.3 million is in the new fangled quarterback room of the Minnesota Vikings.
And what does it mean for JJ McCarthy? I think we all know. JJ McCarthy, and I'm not saying it's easy to figure out first round, second round quarterbacks. I know it's hard. But JJ McCarthy is a cautionary tale for every general manager in the NFL.
The Minnesota Vikings may have finally found their franchise quarterback. After years of solid play from Kirk Cousins, the franchise finally decided to turn the page. In 2024, they signed Sam Darnold to a one-year deal. After that, they drafted quarterback JJ McCarthy as the 10th overall pick. At this point, Darnold was seen as a bridge quarterback, and McCarthy was obviously the future for the Vikings. But Sam Darnold went on to have a career year. He led the Vikings to a 14-3 record while throwing for over 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns. After the season, the Vikings had a decision to make: re-sign Sam Darnold or put their hopes in a young quarterback that needs time to develop. They ended up choosing McCarthy, which was a huge mistake. But nobody expected this twist, because suddenly, the Vikings have added one of the most electrifying quarterbacks of the last decade, Kyler Murray. And if Murray can return to form, this move might completely change the direction of this franchise. But to understand why the Vikings took this gamble, we first have to talk about Murray's time with the Arizona Cardinals and why it completely fell apart. Back in 2019, Kyler Murray wasn't just another rookie quarterback, he was the future of the NFL. The Cardinals selected him first overall in the draft, and the hype was massive. Murray had just won the Heisman Trophy, he had elite speed, elite arm talent, and he looked like the perfect quarterback for the modern NFL. And early on, it looked like the Cardinals got it right. Murray won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and within a couple seasons, he was already a two-time Pro Bowler. I mean, the guy was electric. He was scrambling out of the pocket, launching deep balls, and breaking defenders' ankles. For a moment, Arizona looked like they had finally found their franchise quarterback for the next decade. But then things started to change. In 2022, he suffered a torn ACL, which derailed his momentum and forced him to miss significant time. Then the injuries continued to pile up, and in 2025, he had only played in 5 games because of a foot injury. And the Cardinals began questioning whether their franchise quarterback was still worth the massive contract. Eventually, they released him, not because he had no talent, but because the Cardinals were looking to reset. And after 7 seasons in Arizona, the Kyler Murray era was officially over. Almost immediately after Murray hit the market, the Vikings made their move. Minnesota signed him to a one-year deal, paying him only about $1.3 million, because Arizona still owed him over $36 million, which means this is one of the lowest risk moves imaginable. For the Vikings, it's basically a free shot at the former number 1 overall pick. If Murray plays well, they may have just found a franchise quarterback, but if he doesn't, they move on. But here's where things get interesting. Minnesota already has a young quarterback, and his name is JJ McCarthy. Just a couple years ago, the Vikings believed McCarthy was the future. They selected him in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft, hoping the former Michigan star would eventually become their franchise quarterback. But his start to the NFL has been complicated. Injuries slowed down his development early in his career. When he finally got the opportunity to start in 2025, the results were inconsistent. McCarthy started 10 games, but only threw for over 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. So when Kyler Murray suddenly became available, the Vikings couldn't pass it up. The biggest question in Minnesota now is simple: what happens to JJ McCarthy? Because Murray immediately changes the quarterback situation. Instead of being handed the job, McCarthy now has to earn it. And honestly, this might be actually the best thing for his development. Young quarterbacks often struggle when they're thrown into the fire too early. Now, McCarthy gets something most young quarterbacks don't get: time. He can sit for another year and develop behind a veteran quarterback who's basically seen everything the NFL can throw at him. And if Murray struggles or gets injured, McCarthy will be ready. Either way, the Vikings suddenly have something they didn't have before: competition. If there's one reason Vikings fans should be excited about this move, it's the man calling the plays, Kevin O'Connell. O'Connell has quietly built a reputation as one of the best quarterback developers in football. Before becoming Minnesota's head coach, he helped guide the offense for the Los Angeles Rams during their Super Bowl run. Working alongside Matthew Stafford, O'Connell helped design one of the most explosive passing attacks in the NFL. And since arriving in Minnesota, he's continued to show how great he truly is. When O'Connell became the Vikings head coach in 2022, the team immediately went 13-4, winning the NFC North in his first season. In other words, it's the exact type of offense that can help Kyler Murray thrive. What makes O'Connell special isn't just his playbook, it's his ability to elevate quarterbacks. Throughout his coaching career, he's worked with multiple quarterbacks who had career years under his system, like Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, and even Sam Darnold, who've all had career years with O'Connell. Or even look at how O'Connell helped stabilize the Vikings offense, with veterans like Sam Darnold and others stepping in at quarterback, keeping the offense productive even during injuries. And now he gets to work with a quarterback who might be the most physically talented player he's ever coached, Kyler Murray. If Murray returns to form, this Vikings offense could become terrifying because look at the pieces around him. Minnesota already has one of the best receivers in the league in Justin Jefferson, and they also have Jordan Addison, and now they have a quarterback who can extend plays with his legs. That combination is exactly what modern NFL defenses struggle with. When the play breaks down, Kyler Murray becomes almost impossible to defend. Defenses have to choose, will they cover the receivers downfield, or will they chase Murray when he escapes the pocket? Either way, someone ends up open. The Vikings didn't sign Kyler Murray because they needed a backup. They signed him because his best football might still be ahead of him. Murray is only 28 years old, and he's already proven he can be a Pro Bowl quarterback. And now, he's entering an offense designed to maximize quarterback talent. Plus, he has something else working in his favor: motivation. Being released by the Cardinals was a wake-up call, and sometimes that's exactly what a player needs. For the first time in years, Minnesota has options. They have a former #1 overall pick looking to revive his career, and a young first-round quarterback still developing behind him. Instead of putting all their hopes on one player, the Vikings are letting the competition decide the future. And honestly, this might be the smartest move they made in years, because if Kyler Murray returns to the same player we saw early in his career, the Vikings might not just be good again, they may become dangerous. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing.